It's fall, y'all, and us fall girlies, we love the smells of fall. We love our pumpkin spice, we love our vanilla coffee, we love our cinnamon, but what we don't love in the fall is BO. You guys, just because it's not summer anymore doesn't mean we don't still have BO. We do, and that's why you need Lumi. Lumi is a whole body deodorant that is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Your pits, your underboobs, your thigh folds, your belly buttons, your butt cracks, your private areas, and your feet. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. And it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Lumi now has a starter pack that's perfect for new customers. So it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for my listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code PinkShade. So if you combine that 15% off coupon with the already discounted starter pack, that equals 40% off their starter pack. So use code PinkShade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. LumiDeodorant.com, LumiDeodorant.com. Use code PinkShade, and you're going to get 15% off, and the starter pack is already reduced. You guys, I love the deodorant wipes and I love the all over deodorant. You need to try both of these things out and let me know what you liked. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mary Payne here. And normally in this spot, we have Pop and Bravo, but sometimes things change and people's schedules change and it doesn't always happen like we want it. So instead, you are getting a bonus episode, and this is Love is Blind Season 7, Episode 1, No More Situationships. This season of Love is Blind is so good, y'all. It's in my hometown of DC. I've got a lot to say. And right now, all 9 episodes are up on Pink Shade Prime. That is Patreon, Supercast, Apple. All 9 episodes are up, and most of them are also on YouTube. So you can watch there. You can watch this one there. I'm dropping this to you as a little teaser. And I know all the scoop, guys. I know the scoop on Leo. I know the scoop on Tim's house. I know the scoop on Garrett's parents' house. I got the scoop on everybody's house. You just look it up. And later this week, I'll have a little scoop on Marissa's mom. Anyway, guys, enjoy this bonus episode, Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 1. And again, for the rest of the episodes, you need to go over to Pink Shade Prime, and the link is in the show notes. Thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. This is Pink Shade Prime. And guess what? It's that time again. It's time for me and Keisha to talk about Love is Blind. We're so excited. And if you're new here to this level of Pink Shade, you won't be disappointed. Keisha and I love to cover Love is Blind. This will be our 3rd go round. We did Season 6. Oh, yeah. We did UK Season 1. And now we're doing Love is Blind Season 7. We are in my hometown of Washington, D.C. Oh, my God. These job titles, they're giving me life. These are my people.
Yeah, because we know these people are actually employed. All those, I'm a marketing director. I'm a content creator. Mm-hmm. Those to me sound like people who are probably still living at home and still trying to find themselves. But these people, I think, actually they get up every day, they stop by Starbucks, get their order, and then they actually go into an office and work and get a paycheck, have a 401k, all that good stuff.
I think so too. I'm loving it. Now, some of these people I have already researched just a smidge, because once they tell me their last name, they're in for it with me. I'm up on the Google. Okay. I'm on the LinkedIn. I'm trying to figure out, does my husband know some of these people? I've already tried to figure out if he knows Taylor, because she said her last name was Rouse. And I already looked her up because she's an energy person, and my husband does clean energy as well. So I sent the LinkedIn to him. She works for RMI something. I go, do you know this girl? And of course, he always thinks I'm accusing him of something. He goes, no, why? I've never seen her. What? And he always thinks like I'm trying to say, did you have an affair with this girl? He's like, what? I go, no,
Dave,
I don't.
We don't care if you had an affair with her. We just want to know if we can get an interview.
We just want to know, is she a bitch? Is she weird? What's happening? So
yeah, that's it. What you do on your own time with Taylor is of no business to us. Okay.
He said he's never seen her, never heard of her, but I said she does hydrogen energy. And he's like, well, that's not the cleanest energy. The cleanest energy is nuclear energy. And then I had to
Oh.
hear 5 minutes about that, of which I don't care. That's what he does, by the way, for people at home who don't know.
And then someone
So,
else does nuclear security.
so now that's the next person I'm going to research to find out if he works at one of my husband's company's plants,
Okay. Okay.
because that's very, very highly likely, because my husband's company, he doesn't own it, he works for this company, has the largest amount of nuclear plants in the United States.
I
So,
kind of wanted people to think that Dave did own the company.
you know what? I wouldn't have this podcast if he did. I would
Yes,
be
we
like,
would. Yes,
well,
we would.
yeah, I don't know, Keisha. I might be living that a Britney life and be a trophy wife and have somebody just let me shop and get my nails did and shit.
Well, I mean, but if we keep the podcast, we'll be able to show off all those things.
True. Then I could be a real influencer.
Yeah.
Did you know
Gotta
to be
think big.
considered
You got yeah,
to be
levels.
considered a micro influencer, you have to have
Mhm.
over 40K on Instagram to be considered a micro influencer.
Okay. Wow.
So
Mm,
whatever is
mm.
3 steps below micro is what I am.
And I'm below that, so I'm just a homeless person.
You're like,
I'm a homeless person with a sidekick cell phone. Like, you know.
you're like Benihana on Love is Blind UK or Lauren
Yeah.
on this season of Before the 90. Just homeless, just fully
Was
homeless.
homeless, was wandering around, hoping to find love, even though I'm homeless. Yeah.
Mhm,
That's the level
mhm.
I'm on. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank God for James.
Okay.
Man.
You guys, just at the start, if you are new here, Keisha has a wonderful podcast called The Libra Lounge with Keisha. She talks about a lot of pop
Hi.
culture. She talks about a lot of shows I don't talk about. Like she loves those 2,000 pound sisters, and she loves the Honey Boo Boo, and she likes shows on a cable network called Zeus.
Yes.
I don't know
I
what
do.
any of that means, but that's what she loves to talk about the Kardashians. And lately, we got to talk about
Yeah.
the Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Things
Yeah.
aren't looking so good for old Mr. Combs.
He's gonna need those 1,000 bottles of baby oil where he's going.
Where he's going. Yeah, thank God he's had a lot of practice
Mhm.
with that. Well,
Yeah.
um, so that's what's happening. And I, of course, am Mary Payne. This is Pink Shade. And we would love you to go over and follow us on Instagram. So maybe we can make it out of the triple below micro level influencer status. I'm Pink Shade Pod
Yeah.
and Libra Lounge with Keisha is Keisha's as Libras. Keisha and I have the same birthday. And you guys, it's coming
Libra
up.
season.
It's
Woohoo.
coming up. So everybody gird your loins because it's going to be a couple of days of obnoxiousness, and then we're going to be fine.
Just a couple of days.
We're
You
not
guys,
we're
it's
not like Amy Archer, our friend on Little Miss Recap, who does have to celebrate for 1 month,
no.
or my
Yes.
producer Ingrid, who celebrates for 1 year.
Well, producer Ingrid is always in celebration of something.
She sure is. She sure
I'm
is.
starting to think producer Ingrid is a trust fund baby.
She's not. She's not. Her dad is literally like a high school history teacher in Laverne, Minnesota. Like not.
She lives, if you follow her, you will think that she is an influencer
I know.
because of just the lifestyle that I'm like, what am I doing wrong in life?
I
Like,
know. You would think that, but nope.
yeah.
She's a girl from humble beginnings, and she just makes the most out of every moment. When she turned 40, we had to do 40 years of Ingrid, and it was like every month
Oh
we
my
had to do a
gosh.
different celebration. So guess
No.
what? Next year is coming up 50, and
Ooh.
she's already been telling us what we should be prepared for. So okay,
Oh, wow.
along
Okay.
for the ride. Along for the ride. That's
Okay. I
Ingrid.
can't
You
wait
could
to
follow.
see.
You could follow her on Instagram. I think it's Ingrid on Strings
Yes.
is her Instagram. Okay, we're not here to promote Ingrid. We're here to promote ourselves. And
She needs to pay us for that ad we just ran for her.
I tell her, I go, we talk about you on the podcast all the time because she only works on it but doesn't ever listen.
Which is sad. Which is
You
truly
know,
sad.
she's busy. She's busy.
Yes, living a fabulous life. Yes, she
She's
don't have
busy.
time for us.
Mm-mm. She don't have time for this bullshit.
Mm-mm.
I did tell her though she is going to have to get on board with this Love Is Blind season because of the DC connection. Because she's also a DC person. Her husband has a similar job to mine. Has worked for the same company as a lobbyist for a very long time, and he's into I don't know trucks and cars. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's his biz. All right, we're not here to talk about them. So next time you hear this, episode 2, I will have some music. I just have to find some royalty-free music so aforementioned producer Ingrid doesn't get mad that I put some music in that YouTube won't let me monetize. These are things I
Our
don't think
bad.
about. Sorry, girl. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Here we go. Love is Blind, season 7. Let's do it. This is okay. You know, when I first watched it, Keisha, I watched it
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
first episode a couple of weeks ago. So then
Mm-hmm.
today, when I sat down to watch it to take my notes, I've got to say I felt bad because I said all the guys were trolls. But I'm coming around on a couple of them. Are you? Or
Mm-hmm.
no?
Mm-hmm. It's like you got a group of ugly kids and you remind yourself they're kids, so you've got to make some of them cute.
Wow. Well, I think all the women are stunning.
This is a good group of women, but
Hmm.
it is like Netflix said, we're looking for guys between a 5 and a 6. You know what? I'm sorry. A 3 and a 7. No, 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 no. A 3 and a 6.
Okay, I'm gonna give them between a 4 and an 8. Okay? No, you're not. Okay, but we'll
I'm
decide
I'm
as we
I
go.
I'll give you a 7.
There's the one guy who we haven't seen much that is super, super cute.
Mhm.
Shoot, now I don't know which one he is. He's an Asian guy.
He's cute.
He's
And
cute.
he's
We don't
cute.
I don't know his name. We don't see him,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah,
is
he's
cute.
cute. Yes.
He's
He's the
he's
cutest person there.
he's between 8 and 10 for sure.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
You guys, it's my favorite time of year. It's when I get to switch my closet over from my summer clothes to my fall clothes. I really do love this process. Weed out things that I no longer wear. And now that I've discovered Quince, you guys, I've been talking to you about it forever. They have these cashmere sweaters. They are 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters. I got the cutest black cashmere sweater, and I've been wearing it on top of my Quince long silk dress. Also, they have a great leather jacket that I've been eyeballing. I have a black one, but I'm thinking about getting a brown one. So you're going to get those Mongolian cashmere sweaters for just $50. Okay? That's 50 to 80% less than similar brands. You know how they do it. They cut out the middleman. I've told you when you go to Quince, you go to that little chart at the bottom and you look, hey, here's the exact same sweater with 3 other brands and look at the price difference. Another thing I just bought from Quince, you guys, pro tip, they have the softest pajamas. It's cozy season and we are ready for it. You got your PJs, you got your cashmere sweaters, you got your leather over your silk. Ah, killing the game. Don't sleep on their shoes. They've got great shoes too. So those are the things I've gotten recently. And there's about 6 things in my cart right now. I can't quit. I can't stop it. Quince, I can't stop you. Get cozy in Quince's high quality wardrobe essentials. You're going to go to quince.com/pink shade for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/pink shade to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pink shade. And please send me a DM and tell me what you got.
Mhm.
You know who's hideous, who I'm glad we're not seeing much of, is Ramses, the program coordinator who has a rat tail, a double ear, and a
Okay.
nose ring. What? Where?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
He is like Prince when Prince was just going by the symbol. But
Okay.
you don't remember
Uh-huh.
when Prince all of a sudden just went by a
Yeah. Oh,
symbol?
yes, I do because he
Okay.
was
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
because his music label wouldn't let him buy back his music or something. So he said, "I'm
Okay.
not going to use the word Prince so that you can't exploit me." Yes.
Yeah. So I think Ramses is very cute.
Oh, I don't.
He
Mm-mm.
just has horrible hair. If you can get past the hair, I think he's really like I would go out on a date with him. I think
I
he's really
couldn't see
cute.
I couldn't see past the hair, the nose ring, the pearl earrings. I couldn't see past the whole look
And the
he had going.
blouses. And the blouses. He has more blouses than I have in my closet. Okay.
I did not notice any blouses. I was so busy looking at that thing on the back of
Yes.
his head. I was like, "Is it
It's awful.
1986? What
And
is
it's
it?"
not just one. There's two. There's
Oh, he's got a
two
double. He's got a
long
double.
there's two. So if you take away from that, put him in a t-shirt, I think he's cute. I think
Okay.
he's a 6.5
Okay. When I
to
watch episode
maybe a 7.
2, oh, 6. Ooh, ooh, I'm giving
I
down in
think
that
he's
4
actually cute.
range. Okay.
No.
Okay. I didn't look at his face at all. I didn't do the whole, what would he look like without that thing, without the blouses, I just kind of was like, I can't get past whatever's happening in the back and
You
you're
just made me
out.
spit my drink.
I'm sorry.
Just look at his face. Just he's got really nice features. He's got pretty eyes.
Okay.
He's got good hair. Just a horrible hairstyle.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
he's making a statement. He's a program coordinator for what? Unclear. But by the time we do our next episode, I'm going to have done a little bit more of a deep dive on all these people, especially Tyler, the nuclear security officer, to see if he works for the same company that my husband works for. Because by the way,
I
to have that job, that's like you have to have like the top government clearance, everything.
Yeah,
You can't just work
I
at the front desk at that job. Like, even if you do work at the front desk, I mean, that's like, that's a pretty important job.
I believe that. I just get weirdo vibes from him.
Oh, I didn't. I loved his story about
I
his
bet you did.
mom
I knew you
struggling.
would. Mhm.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Let's get started with these people. So I've got my little chart up and I'll be flipping back and forth to it. So this first episode is called No More Situationships. Good
Mhm.
title. Okay. So Vanessa and Nick are there and they welcome everybody to the pods. I said, ladies are gorgeous. There are a couple of guys that can maybe seem like they're okay. And next, Nick tells us he's never even heard of that term, situationship. When they go, oh,
Okay,
one of the
Nick.
girls says, I'm tired of situationships. He's like, oh, golly gee, am I old? I've never heard of that term. Grandpa is new here. Listen, I'm way older than him and I've heard that term.
Yeah, Nick, I don't know where he's been. I don't know. But he really aged himself with that comment.
And then Vanessa, of course, is like, we could do situationships later. I was like,
We don't
stop,
need that at all.
Vanessa,
Stop.
stop trying to make Vanessa happen. We're not. Mm-mm,
It's not happening, Vanessa.
mm-mm,
It's just
mm-mm.
not.
And they tell them in just 4 weeks she'll be at your wedding. Now, I don't necessarily think that's true because I think what we've heard is they are required to be in the pods for 2 weeks. But I think some of that is like pre-COVID quarantine and interviewing. And then I
Mhm.
think they have to stay, everybody has to stay in the pods unless they choose to leave a certain amount of times because they all go on vacation together. So I don't think that 4 weeks from they first talk to them, they'll be at their weddings. I think it's more like 5.
Well,
But
either way, that gives me heart palpitations whenever they
I
say
know, I know,
the
I
wedding.
know.
I just 3 seasons in and my anxiety still goes up when they say that.
Because they'll do like
I
12 days to wed, 10 days to
Yeah,
wed. And Keisha's like,
when it really blood
ah!
pressure
Yeah,
really goes up. I'm like, "Give me a blood pressure pill." Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just
it
scary.
upsets it upsets you. I get it.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
now we see Ashley W. and Tamar chat. Okay, let me pull up my notes here about these two. So Tamar is 32. He's a graphic designer. Ashley W. is 31, and she's a teacher. It's not to be confused with Ashley A., who is a
Mhm.
marketing director and is so drop dead gorgeous that like I couldn't even barely look at her. But Ashley W is also really cute and she's a teacher. I mean, I really can't say
All the
one
girls are cute.
I can't say anything about the girls. I can't make fun of a lisp. I can't make fun of a weird hair. I can make fun of some of their attitudes and personalities, but so
Yeah.
far I got nothing on the girls. I got nothing.
Physically, they are a pretty good bunch.
Yeah. So Ashley W and Tamar are chatting. He goes, Ashley W, okay. And she goes, W stands for wife. What? And then we see Leo and Tara, and they're talking about their favorite Trader Joe's snack. Tara kind of comes in and out, but she doesn't seem to make a splash.
She's a curly-haired girl, right? She has
Yeah,
lots of curls. Okay,
yeah.
and then there's Leo, who Maybe
Is
I
it
shouldn't say who he looks like.
Leo? Leo's the rich guy.
Who doesn't want anyone to use him for his money, but that's all he talks about? Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Leo would have been better to say nothing. Just say he's an art dealer and let
I,
by the way, you could be a
yeah.
broke art dealer. You could be dealing art on Etsy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, he wants people to know that he's rich. That's all that he talks about,
Yeah,
which is bad.
but he doesn't want anybody to judge him for his, I don't know, $50,000 Rolex he's wearing.
That he's wearing.
He
Yeah.
didn't have to bring that watch. I bet he's got several.
Yeah, he probably changes one every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we see, I put Yenny, but that can't be right. And Perry, and she was like, I hate anything on lettuce. And we don't ever see them again, so it doesn't matter. Then we see Monica and Jason talk, and she's like 38 or 39. And he goes, I just kind of have a hesitation talking to you because you're older. And she's like, oh. Then we see Ash.
Rude.
Rude, but you know what? Go ahead and eliminate. If you're not going to talk to her because she's older, just go
Yeah.
ahead and eliminate it. If you really
Yeah.
want to have kids, you think she's too close to 40, go ahead, knock her
I
off
get
your
it.
list.
Yeah.
So then we see Ashley A and David, and I say, holy shit, she's gorgeous. And they're talking about age. And she says, she tells us, she said, dating in your 30s is like going through the clearance rack. You're like hoping to find that gem in the
Yeah.
back that nobody found. And she says that her parents divorced when she was 6. And then her mom got redivorced. And she said she would tell her mom, Mom, one day we're going to find our husband or dad that's just like in the movies. She's cute. She's really cute.
I bet her
And
mom was like, bitch, why you on there telling all my business? Like,
mom was like, I might still be looking for a man. Don't make me look
oh,
desperate.
yeah. No one needed to know that. This is about you, not me.
And she says she doesn't know why she's single. She says it's not for lack of trying or lack of interest. She has no idea. And we don't either. I mean, maybe we'll find out, but I think she seems beautiful and confident and funny. And so far, I love her.
I
We don't
think
focus
we're
on her
going
too
to
much on
see.
this episode, but I think we are going to focus on her in the future.
I think she may have some control issues.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashley A meets Tyler. Tyler is 33. He's a nuclear
Mm-hmm.
security officer. Tyler says he's nervous. He's like nervous to be in there and talk. And okay, what do you like to do? He goes, I really like to be outside. I like to hike and stuff. I have a brand new puppy. And she says she's kind of a foodie. And he goes, oh, that's amazing. I love to cook. And she is also on the board of a nonprofit that benefits women and children. So she's a good
Right.
person all around. They
Mm-hmm.
seem to have some chemistry.
Yeah.
And in her talking head, she goes, I like that Tyler seems vulnerable and he seems like himself. He seems nice. But this is all just kind of, we're just rotating around real quick.
Very, very quickly. But I think he loves her already after
I kind of
just
think
5 minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you guys, if you've never watched Love is Blind, because maybe you're just watching it because it's DC or whatever, they do this quick thing and then you see people and you're like, wow, I'd love to know more about this person. And you never see him again.
That happens a lot. Like, here's another thing. When they did the preview of like the season, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we kind of already know who gets engaged.
No, you know what? Because I'm so busy taking notes, I just forward through that stuff. And like, even if they give us stuff at the end, I fast forward it because I've got to get to the next episode to take the notes.
It was crazy. I was like, well, we know that person gets engaged. They're engaged. Okay, she's crying on a man's shoulder, so we know they get it. It was kind of weird. And I kind of went through my Rolodex. I'm like, did they do this on the other seasons? Is this something new? But I mean, yeah, we already know pretty much some of the couples who are engaged.
Remember, kind of in the mid-season trailer, which we'll get at the end of episode 6, they will show you like people standing at the altar and all that.
Right. Well, but sometimes it's like they do like something where you really can't tell, or you're like, okay, there's 3 blondes, so which blonde was that?
Right.
They just said, fuck it this time. Go ahead.
They don't do it. They don't do it quite like Matt Sharp does, where he tricks us and they show one clip to make you think like, oh my God, these people are never going to be together, but it really meant something else. Matt Sharp, we're on to you.
He's a trick. He is a old stunt queen, and he
sure
tricks
is.
us up all the time. So
yeah. yeah. And so this, they just lay it all out like, all right, these people are not going to get married. So don't invest. Don't invest your time and
Yeah.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we see Ashley A. She meets Nick D. His last name is Dorca. So he goes ahead and just tells us his last name because they don't
I
always
mean,
do
that's a
that.
good thing. That's a good thing to know because honestly, some women may say, I refuse to have that as my last name. No, send in the next guy.
But I'm going to stick with Ashley A. and then I'll be Dorca on my driver's license. But professionally, I'm not putting that on anything.
Dorca.
Um,
Especially, yeah, especially if you're a teacher or something like that. You can never get away with the last name like that. Dorca. The
so,
kids would eat you up.
my friend Mandy, who has a podcast, Is This Real Life with Mandy? Her last name is Slutsker, but it's
Ooh.
spelled Slutsker.
Oh no.
And so when you type it, oh, I'd love for you to meet my friend Mandy Slutsker, people go, her last name is not Slut. I love it. Yeah. She always says when you're looking for her on Instagram, she goes, just Mandy Slut and do
Slut.
S. And I was like, I think porn's going to come up. She was like, not yet. Not yet.
One day.
One day. Okay, so Ashley A meets Nick Dorca. And then we move into Nick meeting people. Okay, so this is also how they do it if you're new to this. They kind of focus on one person, they move into the next one. So now we focus on Nick meeting people, and he meets some girls. He tells us that he loves to flirt. He meets Ashley W, who tells us in the talking in, he's a smooth talker.
Yeah.
And she said, my note about him is fuck boy, ?
And he is a smooth talker, but not like a good one. Like half the stuff he says is corny.
And also, how is this working on anybody? He's not cute. Not.
I don't think he's not as cute as he thinks he is. And I can't
Maybe
get
that's
past
what it is.
the ripped
Maybe
jeans.
that's what
Like
it is.
he has too many rips in his jeans.
Yeah, I don't enjoy a man that has ripped jeans. I just don't.
No, I'm
I think
not.
that's a girl thing.
I
don't like
I
it.
don't want to sound sexist, but I kind of got to agree with you on that one. I don't get it. It's the equivalent of men who wear skinny jeans.
Right. I don't mind a man if he has like a little rip, like right above the knee or something that like naturally may have gotten there. And these are like his worn in jeans. But if you've got like curated holes in the, I don't like anything about this guy. And it gets worse and worse and worse for me.
Yeah, I like my man with a little bit of a rip in the thigh area, like James. I'm
like, I don't mind it if it looks like it naturally was there because the jeans are kind of worn in, but not if it looks like you bought them that way to be cool, like girls do.
That is just not cute to me. And maybe because we're older, we're women of a certain age. I don't know.
That's true. That could be.
To me,
you guys, that's right.
It's just not cute.
Okay, that's right. Maybe it's a 30-something thing. I don't know.
I am 30-something.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That bumps you up too. If I'm 30-something, that means you're 40-something.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Let's go with that then. Okay, because last time I checked, that wasn't true. Okay. So now he meets Katie. Katie is in marketing for a football team. So, of course, he says, I hope it's the Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins, now called the Washington Commanders. And she said,
thanks for clearing that up. Because I was like,
you didn't know.
I don't know a lot about the NFL, but if someone says like a team's name, I'm like, oh, okay. When he said that, I'm like, are we talking about arena football? Like, what the hell is going on? There we go.
Okay. We used to be the Washington Redskins, but it's not, it's not a culturally, it's cultural appropriation. So we switched it and now we are the first for several years, we were called the Washington football team.
Oh, that doesn't sound cute.
That didn't roll off the tongue. So they decided the Commanders. I'm fine. I don't care. So, okay. So she's in marketing for the Baltimore Ravens, which is another obviously big NFL team that has, I think, won a couple of Super Bowls. So
did we have someone from the season before who was a cheerleader for who was the girls like that always says, not Mary Payne,
AD,
not a Thursday. Thank you. Her.
AD.
Didn't she cheer for them?
I thought she was for Boston.
Okay, I'm totally wrong. Continue.
Because she lived in Boston, so I think that's why. I don't think she was for the Ravens. But it starts with a B, Baltimore and Boston. But yeah, that was a girl who was like, not that. Not playing. Not
Not
engaged.
not listening to Pink Shade. Oh, not
What?
Thursday. Yes,
Okay.
God.
Not you, Clay. And then she would go all the time.
Yes, all the time. Yes.
Oh my God, that body though. Woo,
But not
woo.
those lashes.
Not those lashes, but
Not
that
those
body.
lashes.
That
The
girl
body,
had a
yes.
body. She said Jesus and squats. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Katie is in marketing for the Ravens. And she says she's been an athlete her whole life. And he says he was an All-American kicker. Is there a dog next to you growling? Oh my God.
There's a dog on my lap snoring.
Hey, boo boo.
You're gonna have to move over there, buddy. You can't be on my lap.
Sushi, you can't be loud
Okay.
on the podcast. I know
He's
you're
like, is this
old.
all of y'all gonna talk about? Is this it? Okay. Yeah, usually he just sleeps on the other side of the couch, but for some odd reason he had his neck and head on my
Yeah.
thigh.
Sushi, we can't
Okay.
have it. This is a
Yes.
professional situation here, Sushi.
Even
So
with your mommy on it. It's
that's right.
professional.
That's right. So he was an all-American. That's like a high school and college term, I guess.
Yes.
Or kicker
And he
and
is
punter.
let it go. He won't let this go. It's true.
Let's get reminded. I got to go back to my chart. Nick D is 28. So Nick D is the youngest man and Hannah is the
Hannah.
youngest girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Nick D is 28. So he was a kicker and a punter in the NFL and the CF, not NFL. So sorry. AFL, like arena, and CFL, which I think is Canadian. Okay. Didn't make it to the NFL. And he talks about how much swag he had as a kicker and a punter. And she was like, you're way too smooth talking to be a kicker and a punter. Like that is like quarterback, defensive end energy, buddy. Like she's like,
well,
I don't know where you're getting that from as a kicker and a punter. You got to do one thing during every game. Come on now.
Well, he thinks very highly of himself and he truly thinks that he's a ladies' man. Like he looks like he's a person that has like sticky notes all over his mirror in the morning time. It says, I'm great. I'm handsome. I could get any woman that I want. I'm that dude. Just, he pumps himself up.
You're so right.
What's
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it,
That's
people
right.
like me. Yes. That's what he's doing. So she goes, yeah, you're pretty charming. And he goes, I should be. I'm cool as shit.
No, I don't like that.
Hate him.
I don't like that. I don't hate him.
I do. I hate him. I have a visceral hatred towards him.
I don't hate him because I do like a guy with confidence, but I also like a guy with confidence who can back it up. And you can't back up that confidence about football and you never made it to the NFL.
I mean, I don't like one thing about him or his personality. And even later, when he tries to be like vulnerable and like tell the truth, nobody believes you now because you've been hyping yourself up. And all the women are saying the same thing about him. Every single woman, even the women that we don't see even talking to him, say,
yeah,
he is a fuck boy and everybody needs to run away.
Yeah.
So in her talking head, he tells us he's never been in love, never been in a real relationship. And this is really scary for him. Red flag number 106. He's never been in love and never been in a relationship. He doesn't even know what it looks like, but he wants to leap into full relationship, get married. No.
Yeah. I was trying to think, is that normal to be 28 and you have never been in love?
Like, sure. But guess what? You need to try it out. And you need to have a few relationships. And even if you
before you go to get married.
Yeah. And even if you don't think I'm in love, this is the one, whatever, you've had a relationship. So you know how to do that. You know how that works with a relationship,
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's bad. I hate him. So he says he gets anxious and he gets nervous and he overthinks things and blah, blah, blah. So,
okay, I can believe that.
Oh, I can believe that too. And I think that is a lot of his hyping himself up is because it's a wall he puts up as if like, oh, well, I'm so cool. I don't need you anyway. He's very insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he has the confidence. I think that's a total
fake
facade.
Confidence.
Yeah. So now Nick D meets Hannah. Now, Hannah is my girl. I like Hannah.
God.
Now, come on. If you don't like Hannah, we're going to have to end this podcast right now.
Well, I will see you when we talk about life after lockup.
Why don't you like her?
I don't like anything about her. I don't like that she is wearing every shade of green from olive green to lime green on all these episodes. I don't like her swinging on damn legs. I don't like that she bought every pair of pleather boots at Target. I just don't even like her personality at all.
I like her. I think she and I would be very good friends. And maybe it's the Southern accent. Maybe it's because she's not like super skinny and not like
I
super
like that part about her.
I like that she's not like perfect body, perfect, perfect. I like all that about her because that's how I feel. Like I'm
Mhm.
actually have to get by my personality because I'm not like the super skinny, super beautiful one.
Well, I fall in that category. I gotta be funny.
I gotta rope you in with my personality. I would do great on this show, by the way. I would kill it because I could really rope somebody in with my personality. And
I'm
then when
not
they
the
saw me, they
type of
would be
girl.
like, okay, that'll work. That's fine.
Have you ever, like, since we have been doing, because I have, like, since we've been covering this show, have you ever thought about, like, what a person, what the guy would think once they lifted up the little thing and they saw you? Because I have thought about it for myself.
Yeah, I have. I think, yes, of course. I think about it every time we do this. I think
What
I
do
would
you
be like, what's her name? Chelsea 2 seasons ago, where the when she was so like, "Oh my god, stop." That's what they would think when they saw me. They'd be like, "Okay, well, that'll do. She's fine. She sure as shit doesn't look like Megan Fox, but okay." Um,
That's funny.
that's how I feel. And I feel that's maybe why I feel that with Hannah, because I feel like Hannah is pretty enough and cute enough and everything is great about her, but maybe if she likes a guy, he doesn't like her as much because she's 10 extra pounds, or
Mhm,
I don't know. I guess maybe I really relate with that. I relate with somebody that's not like this Brittany who we're coming up on soon,
mhm.
who I feel like whenever you guys, I've been married for 24 years. Back in the dating world, I feel like the Britneys were the people I was up against. I was like, well, I may as well just sit in the corner of the bar by myself because nobody's going to talk to me because I'm with this girl.
Mm,
You know,
okay, okay, okay,
I was the
gotcha,
Hannah. I was
gotcha.
the Hannah to the Brittany always.
I don't know what I am as far as comparison with these girls. Um,
It's a toughie. It's a toughie.
I don't know.
It's a toughie
Um,
because you got to win them over. That's why I would kill it on the show. I'd have 2 or 3 guys wanting to marry me because I'd be like, her personality is incredible, and then they lift up that thing and be like, all right, that'll do. That's fine. It's you guys, I might be hyping my personality up too much too, so I should
I'm gonna hype my looks though, because I think when they looked at that, they were like, "God damn, I hit the jackpot!"
I think they
Whoa,
would.
I'm not. No, I'm just totally kidding. Like,
I
oh
just
my!
saw I just
If
saw your new headshots. I would think that.
wait, no, if producer James were the other person, yeah, he'd be like, "I hit the jackpot!" Like,
He would pass out.
whoa! I think he would too.
He would pass out and somebody'd have to revive him. You guys, producer James, Keisha's husband, you've never don't follow him on Facebook unless you wanna just throw
Oh
up on the
God!
daily.
Oh, it's vomitrocious. It is just like
Sometimes he posts things I have to, but Keisha, get your man.
you
He's
have
he's
to
gotta
notice when he
stop.
posts those things. What my response usually is to those things. It's like, are you kidding me?
You gotta stop
Like you
because
took one,
He loves her
your
so much, and it's just sickening. It's sickening.
it gets on my nerves.
Gets on my nerves too, but it's nice. Listen, it could be worse. It could be
It
Nick
could
D.
be.
So, all right. So Nick D meets Hannah and he goes,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, did you know your name spelled backwards and forwards is the same? I'm Nick."
I think that's funny. That's a good opener.
All right.
That it, I there's something about him, but I
So
prove it to be a very bad judge of character. There's
sometimes you
something
do.
about Nick. Hmm.
So they're both the youngest in the group, as we pointed out, and they chat about, are you on the apps? What have you been doing? And oh my gosh, I'm always at the grocery store like, hey, your voice is nice, picking out the tomatoes and how you're supposed to be able to find somebody at the grocery store and all that. She is
Hmm.
from West Virginia. She was a cheerleader and she always dated the quarterback in high school kind of girl. And he explains he was an athlete, but now he just fell into real estate. He loves his job in real estate. Loves it, loves it. Real estate, that's a tough job to be in, especially in our area. It's tough.
When it's your only job, especially.
Yes.
And now, mind you, every time that Mary Payne is telling you about what Hannah did or what Hannah says, you need to visualize her swinging up that damn foot like this.
Well,
That's all she does.
maybe she's got ADD and nervous energy, and that's how she gets it out.
Well, I need her to say that then.
Well, she might.
Just swinging that leg. I'm like, oh my God.
Okay. So, in her talking head, she says, it's hard to find love because people are superficial, even though they say they aren't. And if you have a couple of extra pounds, guys aren't into you. People don't try to get to know me, but I quit my job. And that's how serious I am about finding love, because she's had told us earlier she's in medical sales, which is a very hard job to get. And she says she's worked super hard to get to her career. Now, if she really quit her job and didn't just take a leave of absence, well, that's not smart. That's not smart. But if her job said you can't be off for 5-6 weeks, whatever it really is, because I don't think it's just 4, maybe if you can't be off for 5 or 6 weeks, we'll hire you back or something. I don't know. But quitting the job.
She didn't say that. She said she quit her job.
Yeah. Well, Sabrina did that last season on UK. That season on UK.
And look
Sabrina
how things turned out for her.
She's doing great. She started her own company and she's beautiful and Irish and we love her. Okay. Now Hannah meets Leo, the art dealer. And she goes, do you like Van Gogh? I mean, low-hanging fruit. Everybody likes Van Gogh.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she talks about how much she loves experiences. And she's like, when I go to a restaurant, like I want to pick a bunch of appetizers instead of an entree. I don't want to pin myself in. He's like, I like her. I like these conversations. You know, I like that too. I like experiences. Now,
this is before he starts talking about his money.
But he hadn't talked about his money yet. But what he wants to say is, I can afford to order all the entrees, girl. Get one of every dessert.
Looks like a squid to me.
Ooh, I can see that. Mm-hmm. It's like Squidward from SpongeBob.
That's exactly who he looks like. And I think Hannah looks like handsome Squidward.
I don't know what that is.
Google it.
Okay, because I never watched SpongeBob because I never allowed my kids to watch it because I was that mom. Like, what the fuck does it matter? But I was that mom. And
you don't let your kids watch that show?
No, and I didn't let them watch Hannah Montana because I thought they were way too smart-assy.
Okay, so now you're mom shaming.
No, I'm not, because it was a mistake because they know about it anyway. They would go to their friend's house and watch SpongeBob like they were stinking crack or something.
I feel like Skylar learns so much about the ocean and all the creatures in it from watching SpongeBob. She really did. And
I don't know why I was against SpongeBob. I think I thought maybe it was too adult.
And Hannah Montana, I cannot tell you how much money I invested in Hannah Montana.
So did all my friends. So my kids knew about it, but and I knew they would watch it at their friend's house, but I wasn't like letting them go to their friend's house and be like, no Hannah Montana, or she can't come back over. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck what she does at your house. But at my house, I don't want to have it on because that girl bugs the fuck out of me. Still does, Miley Cyrus. Okay. Sorry. That girl bugs me, and her bugs me. Don't like her. Don't want it on. Give me some Dora the Explorer. Give me some Handy Manny. I don't care. Y'all, we all dread the whole what should we have for dinner question. I swear on my life, it starts in this house around the time we're eating lunch. People start asking, what are we having for dinner? It drives me crazy. Inevitably, sometimes we order takeout, and it's easier sometimes, but my gosh, it's never satisfying. And I'm always like, I feel so gross. Why do we keep ordering takeout? So this is why I'm loving HomeChef. It makes it really easy to cook at home, and the food is tons better. You feel better about it. And by the by, it saves you money. I love meal kits. Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and cook times is what drew me to HomeChef in the first place, over the other guys as well. HomeChef meals are effortless, even for somebody like me who is not like the world's greatest cook, but I can follow a card with a recipe like nobody's business. HomeChef provides those fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered right to your door. When you open your door and you see it there, you pop it in your fridge or freezer, you're like, okay, my week is done. I don't have to to have this fight with my family 3 times a week about what is for dinner. They have the classic meal kits, which is what I like. That has the pre-portioned ingredients, the easy instructions. That's what I like. Then they also have some speedy recipes that can be ready in 30 minutes. They have oven-ready kits already, and they have microwave meals. So whatever you're looking for, they have it. I like the classic meal prep because I like to do it myself because I might like to add a little of this, take a little less of that. Sometimes they send me mushrooms. I don't like that. You may like extra mushrooms. Whatever is your thing, HomeChef is there for you. They have over 30 options a week that serve a variety of dietary needs. So you don't have to worry about like what to make ahead of time. And this person likes this, and maybe the friend's coming over that's a vegetarian or whatever. Ooh, that sounded pretty specific. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too. HomeChef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's an entire trip to the grocery store, guys, or like 2 fill-ups of your car. They have a delicious kid-friendly family menu with 18 new options each week for your kids or your adult kids who only like to eat kid food. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard me right. homechef.com/pinkshade, but you must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Do it and tell me what you ordered. Okay. So, God, you guys, I'm sorry. If you're new here, this is how it goes.
This
This
is
is how it
us.
goes.
This
This is
is
how it goes.
us. Yeah.
We got to that because Leo looks like Squidward. Okay.
Squidward. Mm-hmm.
So in his talking head, Leo tells us he's very fortunate to have a lucrative and great job. It's a family business that he now owns. And he does worry sometimes that people only want him for his money. You know what, Leo? People don't want you for your money if they don't know you have it.
Yeah, but that's all he has. He realizes he's not driving the fun bus, okay?
I
From
think
what
you're
we've
right.
seen so far.
I think you're right.
He's not really that attractive either.
No, he's not.
So the money thing, that's all he's got. And that's fine, but don't just keep saying, I don't want people to focus on my money. Like, that's what you got.
Yeah.
With it. And you do want people to focus on your money. Otherwise, you wouldn't talk about it like every fifth word.
Yeah, I think you're right. And so he meets Brittany. Now, Brittany is an esthetician, maybe. Not completely sure she's an esthetician. This is
Why?
very typical Love is Blind where
You
everybody
don't
so
think
far has had a legit job, but hers, because she says she works in skincare. Does she work at the front desk at the Red Door Spa and sell skincare? Is she an esthetician you have to go to school for? Like, I'm not letting just any esthetician get up on my face. I would
now see, now you
definitely
sound
not.
like me.
I wouldn't let this girl work on my face. Nope.
Well, now you sound like me when Maria said she was a makeup artist. I'm like, okay, there's levels. Are you doing makeup at the Mac counter?
Yes.
Or are you traveling touring with Adele doing her makeup? Now,
Yeah.
okay, I will say this. Brittany does have great skin. So if she were to try to sell me something, I would most definitely buy it because she's got great skin.
Well, Brittany is 32. Okay. She doesn't look 32. So you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
She looks good. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. All right. I'll give you that. If she was trying to sell me something and she said I'm 32, I'd be like, okay, well, you look 28. So I'll give it to you. So she's got a little bit of a Kardashian baby voice, which always means some sort of childhood trauma. Something happened to her.
We'll learn about it, I'm sure.
I'm sure we'll find out. Although she seems pretty surface.
But she admits it.
She is fully admitting everything, and that
everything
I like
about
as well.
her. I like
that
that a lot. Yes. I'm like, she's not trying to hide and pretend like she's the smartest person in the world. She knows, hey, I look good. This is what I've got. This is what I'm going to use. I like Brittany.
So they're talking, and Leo is saying like he's a big planner. And are you always down for anything? She goes, I'm down for anything. I love a trip. I love to do anything. And he goes, I'm a planner. And she goes, great. Somebody's got to be the brains of the operation. That's great.
Yeah.
So in the talking head, Brittany tells us, I'm single because I chase fun. My dating history is athletes and rock stars. And, I could easily seduce any of these guys into marrying me. I mean, I'm
Mhm,
obviously a trophy wife, and I just want to
mhm,
be with a guy who makes me feel like I'm their number one pick and likes to
mhm.
cook because obviously the children have to get fed.
Okay. Like if I were starting my dating profile, I would use all the everything that she just said would be on my dating profile. This is me. Except, I don't chase rock stars and stuff like that, but everything else, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I'm going to need to know what athletes and what rock stars.
Okay,
In the
so
DC
if you
area, there are no rock stars unless we've got Dave Grohl, but you know how that's going for him.
and she could have been one of his mistresses at some point,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
you know. I think that
True.
she most definitely is the type that an athlete or a rock star would go after. Yeah.
Yes.
I like
Of
the fact that she
course.
admits that. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I think some of those rock stars may have been married.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
but
yeah,
yeah,
I don't think that would deter her one bit.
no,
So
no. She's
she's
chasing that
chatting,
fun.
she's chasing with various guys, and she seems very conceited, full of herself.
Mhm,
And
yeah.
she goes, "I really like a masculine, dominant guy." So now she meets Garrett. Okay, Garrett, let's get his info here real quick. Garrett is 31. He's
The
the physicist.
physicist.
He's the
Like, what
physicist.
does a physicist do? What do
Studies
they do?
physics.
So, like, are
Studies
you a teacher? Like,
you
when you go to work every day, what are you
um
doing?
I think if he was a teacher, he would have said he was a physicist professor.
Okay, don't get smart.
I mean, okay, sorry.
Okay, thank
Um,
you. I'm Brittany. Like, you have the brains, and I'm just gonna say I have the looks right now.
okay,
So
all right.
we're relying
So
on you.
so she meets Garrett and he goes, "So what do you do?" And she goes, I do skincare and I host beach cleanups. And I got like 1,000 pounds of trash last year off of the beach. I mean, I didn't do it, but I supervised in my bikini. I'm like, what beach? You live in DC. Um,
Oh, there's no beaches.
there's no beaches in DC. You can't drive about an hour and get to a beach. Yeah.
Okay, maybe she did that. Maybe.
So he goes, "Oh, that's crazy because I wanted to be a marine biologist." And she goes, "Oh, you really? So what are you doing now?" And he goes, "I'm a physicist." And she goes, "Oh my God, like I need my phone because I can't even spell physicist." Okay.
I like her. I also like the fact that when Garrett was done with their date and he went out and saw the other guys, he goes, "That's not my person. That's not my type."
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
'Cause
And
I
you
think he
and
thought
that's
she was dumb as rocks.
she is dumb as rocks. So maybe we'll find out there's some amazing story about how she turned down a Harvard degree because she wanted to do skincare, but I don't think so. So
You never know.
and Talking Head Garrett says, "I'm trying to figure out what I want. And, my lifestyle really keeps me behind a computer. And if I have free time, I go spearfishing or I'll go on a trip to a highly underpopulated area of the world. And I'm not meeting women. And I really haven't prioritized finding love." Brittany does not want to go to a highly underpopulated area of the world. She wants to go to Paris. She wants to go to Amsterdam. She wants
Mhm.
to go to Monaco. She does not want to
I
go to Ghana and help any children. No, no.
I'm Team Brittany. I like her. I have to say, I probably like Brittany the best of all the women that we've met thus far.
I don't dislike her because I think just the brutal honesty, I
Yes,
like
that's
it.
what I like about her. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I don't hate her, and I'll definitely find her entertaining. I took the most screenshots of her.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's pretty. She's pretty to look at.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. So now Garrett, the physicist, meets Taylor. And Taylor says she has played sports. She really liked basketball. And she's like, "Can I call you G?" And he goes, "Oh my God, that's so funny when I'm playing sports. I like to be called G." She says, "But I tore two ligaments in my ankle. So now I'm really like scared to play sports anymore. But if the Y had like a 40 plus women's league, I'd love to do that." He goes, "Wait, how old are you?"
I felt slightly offended when she said that. Like 40
Right.
plus women couldn't beat your ass.
Yeah. Right.
Really? You're the one with the fucked up ankles. Like a
Right.
healthy 40-year-old woman would run laps around you.
Yeah.
She has a dry personality to me.
She does. And she goes, "I'm 29. I just mean like if I was in like an older person's league, I could win." He laughed. He goes, "Oh, um,
Older person. I don't like that.
girl, wait till you hit 40." So
Because we're
I
lying
think
about me being in my 30s?
I think Taylor's very pretty, by the way, like really pretty. Yeah.
I do agree with you there. But as we later find out, she's got some issue with her ethnicity that I didn't
I
understand.
didn't understand it either. I didn't
It was
understand it
weird.
either. It was weird.
Yeah.
But we're not, we don't know.
Yeah.
So, she says she has a chemistry undergrad degree and a master's in energy policy. So that's when I was like, "Oh, okay. So my husband probably knows her," you know.
Of
Um,
course.
but he doesn't. So she specialized. I just like you to know I'm at my sister's house. She has been
I
in the
wanted to wave and say hi to her. I felt rude that I had not acknowledged her yet.
She has been all over the house, unloading
Mhm.
groceries, walking around with the
Yeah.
dog. I'm like, "Do you see that
Mhm.
I am recording?"
Your
It's
baby
like
sister. It
it's
doesn't
like
matter.
like
Yeah.
grocery shit, and then she just walked out and, like, slammed the door, took the dog outside. I'm like, "Girl."
I mean,
Okay,
she
so
did the camera. She's like, I'm gonna get my camera time.
so she is sitting on the porch now, so that's nice, but guys, if you hear her come in and out, like, I'm sorry, I am at her house, so I am at her mercy.
Well, how about the fact that it's on video? If they watch this, they're gonna see her in the kitchen, the kitchen
She's
putting
she's
everything
back there
up.
just crumpling up her groceries and stuff. I'm like,
She was.
she didn't give a shit. So anyway, she's outside now. So if she comes back in, guys, I'm sorry. Listen, it's when you work from home, that's what it is. I'm at my sister's house
It's
in
true.
Mississippi. So these first 5 episodes will be from Mississippi. In episode 6, I'll be back in my office. So
Well,
you'll
I
that
don't feel
look
so
forward
bad
to.
about the snoring dog anymore.
My sister's always like, I went to Costco, hoping nobody might need anything. Oh God. All right. So, okay. Kim undergrad, master's in energy policy, and she specializes in clean hydrogen energy. She has a hydrogen tattoo on her wrist. And he goes, "Oh, no way. I have a quantum occasion on the back of my arm." And she goes, "Oh my God, which one?" And he says, "The uncertainty principle." Oh, wow. Nerds, nerds, nerds. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that
by the way,
conversation went too smart for me.
it went too smart. And by the way, I like
Mhm,
it. I like it for both of them. I kind of felt a little bit like the producers and the editors and the people that vet these people are doing this on purpose, hoping they
mhm,
find each
mhm.
other. I think it's interesting. I think this was interesting that these 2 nerds found each other.
I think so too. They seem to share the same kind of personality,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like him more than I like her.
I like her. And he's good too.
Mm,
He's okay. He's all right. So they both laugh about being nerdy. And then she throws out the thermodynamic law. Relationships are going toward entropy, and you need to work to keep them together. I don't have any idea what any of those words mean, but he goes, "Yeah, that's right. That's cool." And the talking head, she goes, "I felt an instant connection with Garrett." Okay, good. Good.
That's
Nerds
great
unite.
because when they were talking, I'm like, when are we gonna get back to Brittany? Because I don't understand shit these people are talking about right now.
These people are too smart for me.
Uh-huh.
So we're going back to the men's and women's quarters after this sort of first round. And in the men's quarters, they're like, "Man, there's 15 girls. You only got to find one." And Nick D, who I put in parentheses, young douchey real estate punter guy, says,
Oh.
"Yeah, I'm gravitating toward one girl already. It's Hannah." And in the women's quarters, Hannah's like, "Yeah, I liked him. He's a smooth talker, though." And they're all like,
And
"Yeah,
they
he
all like
is."
kind of laugh at her, like,
No,
really?
they don't fully laugh at her yet, but it's coming. So in the men's quarters, Tim, age 32, a content strategist, everybody
I
in
don't know
DC
what
is a
that
content strategist.
okay.
He tells it that a content strategist is somebody when like a congressman's office needs to put out a statement. So
Okay.
they craft the content so it looks exactly like what you want to say, and then you don't say what would look bad or whatever.
Thank
So
God you told me that because I thought he did like content like creations on social media.
no, this is like
Okay.
what your office is gonna put out or what like if somebody is in trouble and they have to put out, an apology or whatever, it's the
Okay.
content, but more likely it's policy content. He's he strategized in policy content and how to make it sound exactly right.
Okay.
So, he tells a story about his shirt. He's got on this, like, yellow sweater thing that the
Mhm.
guys wear now. And he goes, "I was with this girl and I was like, oh, I really like this." And she said, "That's an ugly color." So I bought it out of spite.
And I happen to think the color looks really good on him.
I thought it was a great color.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says, "I've always felt misunderstood, and no one has ever really understood the most intimate part of me." He goes, "You know, I used to be a complete dog, but now I've
Mm.
really grown, I've matured, and I'm ready. I'm ready to settle down and find a wife." And so I like that he was like, "I used to be a dog. I've done all that."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like with
I
Nick,
like the honesty.
but like with Nick D, he's never done any of that. It seems like. It seems like. So now Tim in the yellow shirt, he meets Alex and she was like, "Okay, we're going right in. I'm a nerd. I'm
She's cute.
astrology." She's like, "I don't want to scare you away with my astrology, but here we
Yeah.
go." And he's a Virgo and he says, "But I have a tattoo of a lion. I'm not a Leo." And she goes, "Why?" He goes, "I don't know. I got this tattoo of a lion and I thought one day I want to have a lioness next to it." And he starts to explain like, and then he wants to have the cubs, but she just
That
kind of
was too
cut.
much.
It was too,
That
she
was
cut him off.
very the Lion King of
Yeah,
him.
she was like, "All right, we're done with that conversation."
Yeah.
And she says, "She's spiritual. And in my mind, marriage is for better or for worse before God." Her dad and her stepmom have been married for 25 years, but her dad and her real mom
Mm.
both have MS. So her dad and
Jeez.
stepmom married for 25 years. The stepmom does everything for the dad. It helps him. He's a huge guy and he falls all the time and she has to help him. Her mom has never been married, but has been in a 15-year relationship. It was great. It was a perfect relationship until she got MS and had to walk with a cane. And that guy dropped her after 15 years.
Oh man, that's ugly.
And she says, "Now I see how important marriage really is." And I don't think it's because the dad's married and that's why the stepmom has stayed with him and helped him through the MS. And because the mom wasn't married, it was easy for him to leave. I think that's how it came across, but I don't think that's what she means. I think what she means
Right.
is you're in a marriage, you're in a partnership, shit goes south and it's for better
Yeah.
or for worse, you know?
Yeah. At least it's supposed to go that
It's
way.
supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
And so Tim says his parents are great. They have a really good marriage. He
Mm-hmm.
had two sisters that passed away, and he was the youngest of the three. And now he's an only child now. What happened, Keisha? What happened to his
I
sisters?
don't know. I just feel I like the fact that when Alex said what happened, she told us exactly what they had, MS.
Mhm,
So and I like to me when someone says someone dies, like
mhm.
I'm sympathetic, but I also want to know what happened.
And
And
then to have
some
2
two
sisters?
sisters,
What happened?
like how old is he?
Tim, let me consult my spreadsheet. Tim is 32, the content strategist. He's 32.
Oh, okay. So
And he's the youngest. These women were just in their 30s, maybe.
exactly. Maybe early 40s. So like, what the hell?
He didn't say they both had a genetic disease that was passed
I
along in
know.
the women in my
I know.
family. He
Yeah.
didn't say one died in a car crash, one had
Yeah.
cancer, nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, maybe we'll find out.
And he says he has a keen awareness of his own mortality. And they seem to bond, Tim and
They do.
Alex.
Mhm. Yep.
Now in the talking head, we see Tyler. Okay, now let me just gotta go to my spreadsheet. I gotta go to Tyler. Okay. Tyler is the nuclear security officer that you're not a fan of. Okay. Um,
No, it just there's just something about him.
okay. Well, listen,
It's
that's how you
something.
gotta go on that. You gotta go on your feelings.
It's early. But it's early. It's very early.
Tyler says the whole experience has really surprised him, that he can talk about his feelings through a wall. He's really enjoying every moment of it, and he just didn't expect that. So now we go back to Tyler and Ashley A, and they're talking. And she goes, How would you feel if I wanted your cell phone passwords? He goes, "Have it. Go through my phone. I don't care if that makes you feel secure. That's fine. If we're together, we're together. I don't have anything to have." And that's a good answer.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everyone in this house has my cell phone password. I have no one's passwords. I
Nobody
don't
has
want
my
them.
cell phone. Nobody has my cell phone.
Oh, it's
My sisters could figure it out, but it's because I used to like talk about my kids to my husband. I don't want them opening my phone and see what I'm saying about them to my husband.
oh, you know what? If you up my phone, what you see is what you're gonna see. If I'm talking shit about you, you shouldn't have been in my phone. But yeah, like it's just Skylar has my location. She'll like text
Oh,
me,
we've
hey,
got
what are you doing over
locations
there?
now. I'm constantly
I-
trying to figure out where everybody is at all times.
Well, see, I have all their locations, but I like never check them. I like always text first and say, hey, where are you? And Skylar's response is, you have my location. I'm like, I'm trying not to be invasive. Like, I just want to ask you
I'm
first
really
where
only
you
mostly
are.
checking my son because he's away from me in college, so I'm always trying to see. He's really ever only at 2 places, his dorm or the fraternity house. That's it.
I think you needed to check his location more so when he was at home,
I was just checking it then too. S That one time he
based
got
on
in
some of the stories that I've heard.
one time he got in trouble when I checked his location because he was not where he said he
Uh-oh.
was. He was at his girlfriend's,
Uh-oh.
and it was not the correct time of day to be at your girlfriend's.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. It's over now, they broke up. Okay, um, Garrett talks to Taylor some more, and they are vibing. These are the
Mhm.
nerds, and they're vibing. Brittany, the esthetician, is now talking to Leo, and she's like, "Oh my god, like I have a high pain tolerance." And he goes, "Oh, that's so crazy." And then she goes, "Yeah, because like I think about when my mom died, and that was like really painful.
What?
Was she
With
stabbed to death?
zero explanation? Yeah, no, nothing beyond that.
Did she have long term cancer? Did somebody stab her? Was she
Yes.
shot and died a slow, painful death?
Yes.
What? Huh?"
And the fact that he didn't ask her, like, well, what happened? That was very weird.
Maybe they had already said it and they decided, editors, like, we're gonna pull that out until like episode 5 or something.
Later.
But yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay. Yeah.
something happened
That
to her
was
mother, and maybe that is why she is the way she is and wants this financial
perhaps.
stability, and this is why she wants to be a trophy wife, and she's got this baby voice because she's stunted. We need to know
Yeah,
more about what happened to Brittany's mom.
I almost was like, did she die like during childbirth?
Could
Like,
be.
so many
What happened?
questions.
So
We
we
need to
didn't
know.
get the answer. We don't know.
Mm-mm.
And she goes, "And I know you feel the same way because you've been through the same thing." Because his parents died.
Weird. Yeah.
Very, like, gloss that over.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "I think it's so cool that you took over your family business." And then he says, "It's really great because I don't have to worry about money at all. But
There we go.
I'm really uncomfortable talking about it." No, you're not.
Yeah. And that's all
No, you're
Brittany
not.
needed to hear was that I have money.
Oh, she brought it up. She brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
He said he grew up very well off. He was being groomed to take over the family business. And then a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people got cancer and died. And all of a sudden, he had all the inheritance at a young age.
So, okay. The
Don't-
mom
but
died.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Okay. We're not going to talk about it.
But I don't want to talk about it.
I thought you were telling
No,
me. Oh, okay. No.
no. But he
So
don't want to
the
talk
mom,
about it.
the mom died.
Mhm.
The dad died. The grandmother died. The
And,
grandfather.
and the
I
stepdad
think
died.
so. I think someone needs to check all of them for arsenic poisoning because that is
Uh,
really weird. And if for him to have inherited all this money, I feel like after this season is done, there's gonna be like a Netflix documentary about Leo and the death of all his family.
so his last name is Brody. And when I looked him up, Leo Brody, art dealer,
Hmm. Hmm.
nothing.
Nothing.
So that was a quick Google I was doing while I was taking notes. I'm gonna have to do a secondary Google where I word it differently, and I will figure it out.
Oh boy.
I did see like an obituary of a grandmother that said, whatever was the word,
So,
survived
and you
by.
saw Leo
So I'm gonna go back into that. I'm gonna research all those names, and I'm gonna figure this shit out.
because it's very odd.
And we will be going to that art gallery wherever it is. So, okay. So, okay. Da, 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 inheritance. Okay. So she goes, "So in a marriage, what do you think about splitting things? Like, is it
Hmm.
50-50?"
Hmm.
And he goes, "Well, I mean, yeah, I think both people should contribute, but of course, both people need to be invested. But if one
Hmm.
person makes more, like if I make more, I should be paying more." And she goes, "I'm so glad to hear you say that because like all the other guys are like, it has to be 50-50. And I am a girl and it's
Hmm.
expensive because I like grooming and to get my
Hmm.
hair done and my nails done. And my
Hmm.
fucking workout classes are expensive.
I
And in my
like this
last
girl.
relationship, I was taken care of 100%.
I like her. I like the way she thinks. I
I like the
really
way,
do.
listen, this is not necessarily for me, but the fact
Hmm.
that she is just saying it,
Hmm. Mhm.
So, he goes, "Yeah, one of the things I'm most insecure about is does a girl just want me for my money? Like, I would need to know that if all the money disappeared, I need to know the person doesn't leave me, like, oh, my lottery ticket just dried up." And she goes,
I think he's most insecure about his looks.
"I do too." But I think a nose
Yeah.
job would help him a lot.
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know why he didn't do that before he came on the show.
Yeah,
He could have done the nose job and he didn't even need to be on the show.
right. Well, you're right. And by the way, if she gets in there, she's like, "First thing we're gonna do is fix that nose, okay?" Uh,
He's gonna have a full body transformation when she's done.
a big glow up, a big glow
Mhm.
up.
Yes.
Um, and she goes, "Listen, if I wanted to marry for money, I could have done it a long time ago," which I believe
Mhm.
that.
I believe that too. Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, that's reassuring." And she goes, "Did you know that Leo is a top baby name of mine?" And he goes, "Oh, really?" He goes, "That's weird." He goes, "But I
Mm.
wouldn't want like to have a kid named Leo, like a little boy named Leo." And she goes, "But I also like Levi. But then I think, is that like jeans? But I think it's cute." He goes, "Oh, I like Levi Brody. I could see it." She goes, "And for a girl's name, I really like Blaze." And he goes,
Who named their girl Blaze? Who
"Candy."
Candy Burris named her daughter Blaze. That's right.
And he goes, Blaze Brody." She goes, "Yeah, I like
Mhm.
it." He's like, "Nope, I've got all the money." And the kid's name is not going to be Blaze. It's going to be Ethel after my grandmother. So,
Yes, the one
um,
who didn't die of cancer.
um, so in the men's quarters, Leo is telling the guys because he does not want to talk about it, you guys. He does not want to talk about his money. But he's telling these guys he's an art dealer. He inherited it young. Both grandparents, his father, his mother, and his stepfather all got cancer and died in 3 years.
Yeah, that is not normal.
And he was
Why is there
very,
not an investigation going on?
that's two, three, four, five people five people in his life died in 3 years. Now I got to say, let's just assume this is true and this is all natural cancer.
Mhm.
First of all, he needs to be doing a real quick
Yes, he does.
23andMe
Mhm.
and figure out all his genetic
Uh-huh.
markers. That's
Yes.
because he's
Yeah.
getting all those cancers,
Yes,
and
he is.
he was very I don't know, I think also if all those people die in your life within 3 years and you come into
Mhm.
I mean, I think that there's a lot going on with him that he's not saying. That's very tragic.
That is beyond tragic that he's doing, that's traumatizing. Like you've lost
Does he
your
have a
core
sibling?
family.
Yeah, does
He's
he
an
have a
only
sibling?
child. He said he's an only child.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
He says he grew up super well off. He was in the country club, he's in private school, so that's gonna be the another thing I'm gonna investigate, what private school and how many people do I know this guy because 'cause I'm getting to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Um, he says, "Look, it's a really great, lucky problem to have. I'm not saying it's not, but I do worry a girl only wants me for my money." He's telling the guys this.
Well,
All these guys are
while
like,
he's sitting like this,
oh my God, do we have to talk about your money one more time? Shit.
while he's
Gosh.
sitting like this to show off his Rolex.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about the money.
Don't talk about my money.
But
You
notice
guys
my
have
really,
more.
really,
I've got,
really.
I've got more. I've got more. So in his talk in talking to head, Leo says, "I felt a connection with Hannah and also Brittany. So it's kind of
Mhm.
complicated." And I was like, "Oh, please. You and Brittany are meant to be, but
Yes,
I
they
like
are.
Hannah. I like Hannah." So now Leo is chatting with Hannah and he goes, "Here's something crazy. I had a dream about you." And he tells her about the dream, and dreams aren't
This
interesting.
is such a lie.
So I
Yeah,
won't
it
replay
isn't
it.
true.
And then he says, what I like about you is like you didn't ask me about my job because I'm dying for you to ask me about how much money I have, and you're just not doing it. Um, and then he says, "Even though you're the youngest one here, you seem like the most mature." And she goes, "Really?" And then she goes, "You want to tell you something weird? My biggest fear in the world is dying. And so I think I'd be okay with being a vampire." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then I would be married to you, be like, "I don't know why my wife looks so old." And she goes, "Oh, no, no, no. I'd take you with me. We could live together forever, blah, blah, blah." And I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh, I have enough money. I could
I have
live
enough
forever."
money.
But
Yeah. Mhm.
she didn't ask.
Yeah.
And then he says, I think you're really smart." And she goes, "Yeah, I know about a lot of things." And she goes, "I think we're perfect for each other." And he says, "Yeah." So the talking head,
I see it's no connection between the two of them at all.
you didn't, I don't know. I just like her.
Uh-uh. I The connection was there for Brittany and him, most definitely.
Well, that's very transactional, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I see nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, my cough is catching up with me. Okay. Leo says, in her talking head, she says, Hannah says, Leo makes me feel alive. I think he's super interesting. But
What?
well, that I didn't get. That
Uh-uh.
I don't know see how he makes you feel alive because he's
No.
pretty boring.
He's quite boring.
And she says, but I'm open to explore all the relationships. But I'm excited. I'm confused. Like, this is weird. And I think all the people that go into this are like right away, like, this is so weird. How do I like somebody and I can't see it? Because they've got nothing else to do. They've got nothing else
Yes.
to do but focus on this.
Yep.
So now Nick D goes to meet with Hannah in the pods, and he's like, what are you wearing? She describes her outfit. It's hot pink. It's not green. Hot pink.
The one time.
And
We
he
still
goes,
have more episodes to go, ma'am.
oh, no, I've only watched the one. You watched ahead. I haven't watched ahead.
I think I went to 3.
Okay, I haven't watched ahead. I'll probably get to
Okay.
3 tonight. And she says, she describes her outfit as like sexy librarian or whatever. And she goes, yeah, I could be like the tailor to your Travis. And he goes, I'm way better looking than Travis. And I'm
What?
sure you're better looking than Taylor. Neither one of you are better looking than either of those people.
Not even close.
And I don't think Travis Kelce is super hot. Totally not my type. I don't think he's super hot, but he's better looking than this guy.
By far.
Then he says, they talk about their celebrity crushes. He goes, you know who I think is gorgeous? Scarlett Johansson. Get more basic bitch, Nick. I mean, not Scarlett Johansson's not a basic bitch. He's a basic bitch.
But that's what, Oh, I don't
come up with somebody exotic and different. Come up with like Padma Lashki. Come out with somebody that is not like everybody in the world.
Everyone says Beyonce. Everyone says Scarlett Johansson.
Everybody in the world,
Margot Robbie.
Yes, can agree that these women are universally beautiful. Then she goes, I don't know, like I kind of like that kind of like Henry Cavill. And he goes, oh yeah, Superman. Yeah, everybody tells me I look like Henry Cavill.
These people have got to stop doing this to themselves. Here we go all over again with everyone says I look like Megan Fox. Here we go.
First of all, nobody's ever told you that. Not one person.
No.
So I went and looked up Henry Cavill with a beard. Henry Cavill looking like shit. I looked up 20 photos of Henry Cavill and not one of them looks anything like this douche canoe. Okay?
No, he's kind of weaselly looking. Like kind of like you know me. I always say so every person looks like an animal.
Yeah. My friend Emily does the same thing. Yes.
Yeah, he's very much looks like a weasel. A little, weasel mixed with an otter is what he looks like to me. Like a little hybrid baby.
All right. Could somebody put that together? Could somebody do a weasel and an otter together? So then Nick starts to ask Hannah, do you have all your bathing suits and stuff picked out for our vacation? He's fishing to find out what she looks like. Yeah. And he is saying like, I like her. I like you a lot. I know that you're sexy. And then as he's walking out, he's like, he does know it. He is fishing.
Because she can say something about her looks.
He is fishing because we know what Brittany's got going on. She is telling you.
Yes.
But Hannah's not saying anything. And by the way, if he did see Hannah in person, he would not like her.
I don't think so either.
Right. Nope. So Hannah tells the girls, she's like, oh my God, I had my date in there with Mr. Suave. And literally every girl goes, ugh.
Yeah, they can't stomach him. Like collectively, they cannot stomach this guy. Yeah.
And she goes, oh my God, guys, I think he's deeper than what people think. And they're all like, no, he's too smooth. And Hannah goes, but I mean, he could be the love of my life. And Marissa goes, girl, that is not the love of your life. And they are falling over laughing.
Yes, they are. And I felt bad for her in this moment because I think she does see something deeper. I think there's something deeper to him as well. I think he's just very insecure right now.
Yeah. So the nerds. Okay. So Taylor meets with Garrett.
We are not going to keep calling this couple the nerds, are we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. So Taylor meets with Garrett and they're playing chess. And he goes, I miss you. It's weird. I really care about you already. And I feel like this intimate connection with you. And it's crazy. And she agrees. And she's like, yeah, it's magnetic. Like it's wild. And he goes, God, I already want to talk about like what our life could be like. So she talks about her
weird to me. This is just
I know
so
we don't get it, but this is the show.
we just don't. I know.
And she's talking about her parents. Her parents are amazing. And she's like, my
Mhm,
mom is great. Everybody calls her by her first name. And he goes,
mhm.
first of all, he goes, your mom's first name is great?
Great. I know. I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of a great before."
And she goes, no, I mean, it's just a great, everybody calls her by her first name, but you can't.
Mhm.
You'd have to call her,
Right.
Mrs. Krause or whatever. And he goes, well, what is it? And she goes, well,
Mhm.
I don't want to say my mother's name because it would give away her ethnicity, sorry. And he goes, all right. He goes,
Yeah.
well, okay. He goes, look, I'll be honest. I've only ever dated white girls and I've never thought
Yeah.
about what your ethnicity would be. This hasn't
Right.
occurred to me. And he goes, and I got to tell you, when you talk, you're calculated and slow and methodical. And it kind of makes me wonder, what are you
Shit.
hiding?
Yeah, it got weird.
And he says, you seem to have a carefully curated image that you're trying to portray. And she
Yes.
goes, okay. She says, this is good feedback. She wasn't offended because they're both
Right.
very cerebral. And she goes, this is okay. I'm glad you told me that. All right. And she says, the reason I'm not going to share my ethnicity with you is because I want to see if my personality is enough. And he goes, I get it. And here's what we're doing. We're learning more about each other. And
Yeah.
she goes, I'm going to be very hurt if this doesn't work. And it's because I gave away what I looked like. I need to feel that I am enough without saying what I look like. And I'd like to know, maybe it's just my personality that sucks. And they laugh. And he goes, look, I have no idea what you look like. No idea. I don't care.
Right.
But that won't prevent me from saying, I want to do this. And it's so strange that I feel this way with somebody I'm just talking to. So that got
Right.
kind of weird for a second, but then they
It
came out
did.
and they came on the other
Well,
side.
he made it better because she kept going weird. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Right. Like, this is odd. I
I
didn't
agree.
get it. Thank God for Derek.
Thank God for Nerd G.
Yes.
All right. So now Ashley A talks to Tyler. And all right, let's remind everybody about Tyler. Tyler is the nuclear security officer. Ashley A is the beautiful marketing director. Okay. So we've kind
Yeah,
of
Mary
circled.
Payne is in love with Ashley A.
I really am. I really am. I
Yes,
think Ashley A is stunning, as they would have
yes,
said
she
on
does.
Love is Blind UK.
UK.
There's my sister, by the way. There she is.
Hey, Tay.
So Ashley A talks to Tyler, and they're both saying they cooked for everybody this morning breakfast. Like, what? What'd you
Mhm.
cook? What'd you cook? And did you want to have? Yeah, I know you always want to talk about the food. You got anything to say about that?
Yes, I thought it was funny that they both said they cooked, and he was like, "What'd you cook?" She goes, "Eggs," and he's like, "Well, I made stuffed French toast." I'm like, "Ooh,
See, now
stuffed
you're
French
liking it more and more, aren't
toast."
you?
I mean, he can win me over if he keeps cooking like that. Okay, yes. And when he described how he made, I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
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 they got a lot. They got a lot of free time up in there.
yeah,
And she's like, I've never dated a guy who cooks. And he says, well, I don't really believe in roles. I want to be a protector, but I'm not really into both me and my wife working all day. And then it's like, she's got to get in the kitchen and cook,
yeah."
because if we
I
come
like that.
home and we want to cook, we'll cook. But if not, we'll go
Yeah,
out. Like it's whatever.
yeah.
So I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I
I
like
like
that.
that.
And then they talk about like weird hobbies or weird like party tricks. And he goes, I can
Mhm.
ski. I can ski. I'm good at skiing. And he goes, and I can do that tongue roll thing. I do that at parties. And she's like, no, you're
Mhm.
just bringing that up for something.
Yeah,
She tried.
just he's trying to let her know what that tongue do.
Do you have any tongue tricks? I can do this. You can do it
That's what
too.
all I got. Yeah,
That
that's
that
what
is
all I got though.
that I've got that trick and I can wiggle my ears. Can you do that? Let's see.
Wait, hold on. Can
Let's
you
see if you can
see?
do it. I can
Hold
do
on.
it. No, you're wiggling your face. I do my ears. See? He's-
Because you're a half fucking alien.
Yeah.
Wiggling your ear.
I can wiggle my ears. I can roll my tongue. Those are my party tricks. I would kill it in the pods, Keisha. Kill it.
My other tongue tricks only producer James knows about.
You know what? Too far. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both say they like to ride horses. And he rides Western style, she rides English style. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. See, again, I think these producers, they do that and they wait to see if they'll figure it out. Got these things
See,
in
it's
common.
kind of like on the dating websites. They
Yeah.
take all your answers and they say you guys will match. But I have so many single friends, and let me tell you, just because that shit matches up on paper and answers,
Yeah.
it's almost better to be opposites, I think.
Yeah, and they'd say that a lot. I've only watched that one season ever of Love Island UK, but it's always like, on paper, he looks perfect. So that's the whole thing. It's like on paper,
Mm,
that would be my guy, but in person, not so
not so
much.
much.
And he goes, he's really always wanted to go skydiving. And she goes, here's the
Mhm.
thing. I've always said the day before my wedding, I'm going to skydive because it's literally a leap of faith. And they laugh like, right. So if we make it, we're meant to be. Now, do you think that this is going to play out on the show that they're going to skydive the day before their wedding? Do you think this is like foreshadowing? What do you think?
That I don't. I would have to,
It's going
because
to
I
be
wouldn't want
funny
to
if
mess
it
up
is,
my.
I think.
I wouldn't want to mess up my hair the day before my wedding.
Right. Right. Good
So,
point.
and I'm thinking she may start thinking that way, like, oh
Mhm.
shit, I just got my hair done. I don't want to fuck it up.
You gotta put on the
Skydiving.
helmet and all that stuff.
Yeah, but at least if I don't make it and I die, my hair looks good for my funeral.
That's great. It's a great point. Great point.
Yeah. Mhm.
So he says he grew up struggling because
Mhm.
his mother's father cut her out of his life because she either married or had children, it's not clear, outside of her race because he says nothing about his father. He said
Mhm.
his mother is Serbian
Mhm.
and her father's family disowned her. So his mother would work all day, come home, feed them, and then work a night shift. She raised 3 kids all by themselves. They would put their mattresses in the living room to save the
Mm.
heat and the warmth. They really struggled, and sometimes mom wouldn't eat and say she wasn't hungry, but she would make sure the
Man.
kids had food. It was that's a real
Oh
struggle.
man. Yeah, I love his mom.
His mom seems like, I hope we get to meet her.
Maybe she should be like the golden bachelorette.
Maybe. It sounds like she deserves some
She
happiness.
deserves it. Yeah.
And then his grandmother, so his mother's mother, got cancer
Mhm.
and died. And he cries and he said, the hardest thing for me was I didn't know how to console her. I was a little kid. Now, when he's lifting his arm up like this, he has a tattoo on the
Mhm.
inside of his arm that says Brooklyn. So I
So
wonder
is
if he
that where he's
grew up in Brooklyn or does he have a kid named Brooklyn
All
or
I know is that we're on the first episode and 19 people have died of cancer.
it's a lot of cancer death.
That's a lot. A lot.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
You're right.
that's a lot going on. I still with Leo think there's some arsenic poisoning in there somewhere.
In my little notes about these people, I'm gonna go and make little notes after each episode because you remember when we did UK, I was completely forgetting like Tom had that fiance that maybe had cancer or didn't or ghosted him and we never found out the answer.
It wasn't Tom, it was Steven.
It was Steven. It was
That's why you
Steven.
have me.
I know because I forget these
I
things that are
got
really
you.
important, really important.
Yeah, I got you.
So he says he didn't really know how to say I love you or console his mother because she had lost her dad because she'd been disowned. And then her mom and his mom was and then she lost her mom to cancer, her only family.
Mhm.
And then she was raising those 3 kids all by herself. And she would cry and they could hear her cry and they didn't know what to do to help her. And he says, so I told myself when I was young, I knew I wanted to marry, stay married, have a big family. I want my kids to come over. I want them to bring their kids over. And he says, he really wears his heart on his sleeve now because of it. And he really loves love.
Mhm.
And he goes, listen, you're my girlfriend now. She's like, what? And he's like, that's it. You're my girlfriend now. And she kind of gives him reassurance. So I think they might be an item.
Okay.
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 I know you're not into him, but I am. I think he's sweet.
We still have lots of room for people to grow on me. I think he's just super sensitive, but
Hmm.
I just need to see a little bit of thug. Just a little bit a little bit. I mean, I
Okay. Well,
love
we'll
that's
see.
pretty sensitive, but a little thug.
Okay.
And
All
that's
right.
the perfect combination.
So now in the men's quarters, Leo is talking and he says, Hannah, she's so easy. She's so fun. And he does an impression of her like, I couldn't believe it. He does like a West Virginia accent, a very
It was
general
horrible.
Southern accent.
Yeah.
And he goes, but, Brittany, she's great. And she's a lot like some of my exes. And she said, I'm a lot like her exes. And in the real world, I think we would attract each other. And it's
Um,
your money that would have attracted. her to you,
And I
sir.
think he thinks they're both bimbos.
Mm, okay.
I really do. I think
And
he
he
thinks
g-
they're both bimbos.
and he says, "It just came to me in the real world, Hannah and I might not have found each other because she's not so interested in my money, and so what else do I have to offer?" I mean, that's what he's saying, you know?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So then David goes, "Look, I know what kind of guy would go after Brittany. I mean, I think a lot of us would be the kind of guy to go after Brittany, but
Right.
what kind of guy would go after Hannah's personality?" And
Mhm.
by the way, I don't think Nick D knows you're talking to her,
Right.
to Brittany, I guess, or to no, to
To
Hannah.
Hannah. To Hannah.
Hannah.
Mhm.
And then Leo says, "But what would Hannah ultimately want? Like, does she want this like douchey guy that was like, I'm a kicker, I'm a punter, or does she want the rich
Mhm.
guy? Because clearly everybody wants the rich guy."
But he's douchey as well. I think
I
he's
know.
more douchey than Nick is.
They're both pretty bad for different reasons. And Tyler says, "Well, whatever you did in the past didn't work." So, like the girl I'm dating in there, and I feel like I love Ashley A. I think it would not have worked in my past. And I've always been a protector, but with her, I feel safe. And I've never felt that with somebody where I could say I felt safe. I've never had that.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
interesting. And he goes, "We can all go home and find somebody like our ex." Great point,
True. That's
Tyler.
very true. Yeah.
And then David says, "They're very different. And Brittany, she's going to be expensive." And Leo
Yes, she
says,
is.
what does Leo say?
I can afford it.
"I've got money."
I got the money. Yeah, he
And they're
does.
all like, "We're talking how it's your rolly, da 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 da." All right.
Mhm.
Now in the women's quarters, Hannah says, "I have a lot of connections." And I think the guys are probably all sitting in there by themselves, like not chatting about who they like or whatever. Of course, but they just were.
Yeah.
And, Nick D, he's like Mr. Suave. And do I want somebody who's so naturally that flirtatious? And they're all like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want that guy." And so Marissa was like the one that was flat out laughing at her, earlier.
Yeah.
Marissa
Mhm.
goes, "Look, he's a fun time. And, we all think he's probably a hot guy. He's not.
And he's not.
We all probably think he's a hot guy." And Hannah goes, "Yeah, I feel like I would have to be perfect all the time. But he's got me
Mm.
charmed. He's been telling me so much stuff like I'm the number one, but I just don't believe him. And I feel like I'm being manipulated. And then, I think he definitely wants a trophy wife because he keeps saying things like, 'I can't wait to see you in bikini.' And I think I
Yeah.
wouldn't even be able to go to sleep without my makeup on." And all
Um,
And all the girls go, "Hannah, you know what you have to do, girl." I mean, the way you're just there, she's not saying anything about him that she likes other than he's charming. She's saying all these negative things. "I think he would do this. I think he would do that. I think in the real world, he would expect me to be perfect. And I'm just not that girl." In the other hand, who is that girl? Brittany.
Brittany.
She
Yeah,
would
I
be,
didn't like how she was totally like kind of peer pressured into breaking up with him.
I agree with that. I think she was peer
Yeah.
pressured into it.
Yeah. Because
How,
she does like him.
However, on UK, um, everybody was pressuring Nicole to break up with Sam, and she didn't,
And it was
and that was the wrong choice.
I think that Nick knows he doesn't have a lot of money. I think he knows he's not the greatest looking guy, and he's got to talk himself up. I mean,
Overcompensating. Yeah.
he's been like in the same outfit, like.
Maybe he's one of those
So
guys
I
that
think
found a shirt that he likes and he bought 4 of them. Yeah.
yeah, I think he has to kind of talk himself up. I have hope for Nick.
I know you do. Okay, we'll see.
I have hope for him.
So in the men's quarters, Leo is saying, I could see myself saying I love you in the next few days.
Oh
And
my God.
these people. And Nick D goes, "I could see myself proposing. I'll one up you,
Oh
mofo."
my God.
Nick D goes, "I could see myself proposing to Hannah. I've
Oh
never been
boy.
in love in my life." And Leo looks over at the guys and says, "Is Hannah dating you?" To Ramses. And he
Mhm.
goes, "No." And I was like, "Whoa, I forgot about that hair." Ha! Jump scare. Jump scare.
Oh, stop it. He just needs a new haircut.
He just needs a whoop on the back. Just chop those
He
little
really
pieces off
no,
the back.
I 100% agree. That shit is redonkulous.
I know. But by
Like
episode 2, I'm going to study his face a little more and I'll give you an
you
update.
too.
Yeah.
He's very cute. Yes.
And Ramses goes, no, she's not dating me. And Leo says nothing. He plays it close to the
Mhm.
chest. I like it. He's not showing Nick D his
Right.
cards. I like it. So now Nick D meets with Hannah and she goes, look, I'm just going to tell you flat out. I got a lot of concerns. Like, why are you here? Why do you want to do this? And he
Mhm.
says, okay, well, dating hasn't worked out. I haven't found what I'm looking for in a person. And I've been reflecting on my parents' relationship and what my friends are doing. They're all getting engaged. And I think I was looking for the wrong thing. And I want unconditional love. I'm looking for something sincere and genuine. And it's clear to me now that that's what I want. And she goes, why though? She says, you talk about how great you look. And it seems like you've gotten everything you wanted in life. And I don't think you will have trouble finding somebody in the real world. And then he
Mm.
goes, well, you seem pretty perfect. Why are you here? It seems like you wouldn't have trouble in the real world either. And she goes, guys like you are the ones who like me in the real world. And I've got a lot of depth to me and I'm funny. But to them, I'm just like a hot or a pretty thing to look at. And as women, you feel like you have to be perfect all the time. You've got to have your makeup on. You got to be skinny. Your hair has to look good. And I don't want to do any of that. I want to be unapologetically me. Now, I think what she's doing is baiting him into saying, no, you don't have to be all those things because she's not any of those things she just listed.
None of them. And I'm like, okay, she's just as bad as him. They both are pumping up their physical attributes
Uh-huh.
way higher than what they are. Like,
Yep.
neither one of them is ugly, but neither
Right.
one of them is a head turner either. So,
Right. I
the
agree.
only thing about the situation with Nick here is that Hannah is the only female giving him any attention. The rest of them are like, talk to him for 15 minutes and said, peace out.
And they said he's a fuck
So,
boy and we're not dealing with that guy. Yeah.
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 So his only chance to even stay on the show is
Uh,
if he convinces Hannah that he's in love with her.
yeah. I think you're right. I think it's a lot of Sam from UK vibes to me.
No, not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
I feel like he's not.
Ugh.
I don't think he's being genuine here.
I think he wants to be in love and he has no idea what it means to be in love.
Yes. Nailed it. Nailed it. So he goes, exactly what you're describing is what I'm looking for in a wife. Well, that might be what he's looking for, but in person, that is not what he wants. Yeah, on
Nope.
paper, again, on paper, that is what he
It
wants.
works. Yep.
So she goes, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think you just think I'm hot and like a Victoria's Secret supermodel, and I'm not. Well, he only thinks that because you've kind of made it sound like you are.
She really, yes, she really, really has. And I'm kind of like, does
Now,
she really think this about herself?
no,
Or
because she's mentioned her weight a lot, which by the way, her weight is a completely normal weight of a normal person. Everybody
yeah,
else on the show is kind of
is just
supermodelish. Yeah.
she suffers from what about the round face effect, where her face doesn't necessarily match the size of her body. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Like her face makes it look like her body is heavier than what it is, and it's
Yeah.
not, because she's not overweight. She's a normal
No,
sized
she's
person.
like I think she's a perfectly normal sized person, but
Yeah.
I think that is she keeps talking about her like you probably think I'm hot, you probably think I'm this. And I think she's doing that to get in his head to be like, oh, she probably is super hot. Now she's been judged on her looks all her life, and now she wants to be judged on her personality. That's Brittany. But Brittany also
Right.
wants you to judge her on her looks and doesn't give two shits of what you care about her personality. She really doesn't.
Not at
So
all.
far.
Not
So
at all.
far. So
Yeah.
far. So then she says, I want to be honest with you. And you say all the right things. And I don't know what it is. There is a gut feeling that I can't figure out about you. And I don't like it. And I'm really struggling. And we do have so much fun. And we probably would have a great life. And I know you say you would fully accept me, but I don't know. I just don't believe you. And he goes,
Oh.
I don't care what you look like. I don't know what you look like. I'm infatuated with the person you are. I love talking to you. I don't want you to be perfect. I don't care if you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're like my
Right.
best friend and I also love you, but you're like my wife.
Okay,
Okay.
that's too much. Okay.
Then it's dead silence and we have this bum 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 heartbeat sound, right? And she goes, I can only marry a person and she says, I can only marry one person. And I don't
Right.
want to end it with you, or anyone else, really. I don't know what to
Mm-hmm.
do. And he goes, you would just end it with me right now? And she goes, you know what? I really like you, but I'm just not sure. And I think my other connections are stronger. And he goes, that sucks. That sucks to hear because I saw myself leaving here with you and you don't think I'm the right guy for you. So I hope the rest of your dates go well. I think you're beautiful inside and out. And I wish you the best of luck. Basically, he said, I love you and I want to marry you. And she goes, not. And I feel like good for her because I think she really did go with her gut. And I think that the girls did kind of bully her into it. But I think
Yeah.
that her gut was telling her something about it is not right. And I think that's good that she went with that. Because we've seen on this show, like they tried to bully Nicole into not going with Sam. It didn't work, and then it didn't work.
Right.
But I think in this situation, she was getting the reassurance from the girls of, okay, that's you
Right.
know what, you're right. You're right. What I'm feeling is right. You all felt it too, and so I think it's the right decision. I really do.
I think on the flip side, his reaction to being dumped was really, really nice. Think about how Sam was when he got dumped and he fucking started throwing everything in the damn pod against the wall and stormed off. This
Right.
guy was like, okay, you're not picking me, but I still wish you the best of luck. There's something about him. There's something.
I think he's
him.
watched the show and knows that it won't go well for him if he acts like a dick. I think he's going to end up with somebody and she's not. That's what I think, but I don't know. Again, I haven't watched episode 2.
I don't know. But
what? See, you've watched ahead and I hadn't, so I'm just making
I
predictions.
know, so
off
I can't
episode
say
1
anything.
because I don't.
Yeah,
say
that's
anything.
why I can't say anything. No.
When we talk tomorrow, you can go na 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 na. Okay.
And
Anyway,
you know,
I say good job to Hannah because she trusted her gut. That's what I say.
I think Hannah's ridiculous.
I know, but I liked her right away. It's probably the Southern accent. I gotta go with my Southern
It
girls.
has to be that. And I like Brittany because she's totally vain and she doesn't give two fucks about it. And she's just brutally honest. And I love that about her.
I need to know what happened to Brittany's childhood. Some shit went down to make her that way.
Well, we know her mom died painfully. Let's start there.
Right. I got to make that note on my chart. Okay. So now Hannah goes into the women's quarters and tells them, I did it. And they're like, woo, you dumped him. And she goes, I feel bad. I feel so bad. And she says, he told me he wants to spend his life with me and marry me. And they're all like, what? He said you dumped him? And she goes, yeah, I think. And they were like, that was the right decision. You definitely made the right decision. Now, while she's having this heart to heart with her girls, Brittany in her tube top and her jeans walks in and goes, oh my gosh, I had to pee so bad. I just said to Leo, oops. Because
I don't think she meant it.
I don't think Brittany came in meaning to like stir any shit up.
No,
she didn't know
neither.
she didn't know they were in a deep conversation.
Yeah, I think it was a real accident.
I think she was just in the middle of a conversation with Leo and had to run out to go pee pee.
Yeah.
And she sees Hannah and goes, oops. And then she goes, I did not mean to say that. Oh my God. I did not mean to say that. And then I was like, okay, well, who cares? You have to talk to everybody. Who cares?
Yeah, I think Hannah's like, holy shit.
But then Hannah's like, oh, that's my competition.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like, I might have fucked up here.
And so Hannah looks at everybody else and goes, yeah, that, meaning Leo, that's my number one. Shit's getting weird. And they're all like, shit is getting weird.
Yep.
And then Hannah goes, well, now I'm regretting this whole Nick thing. Like I love him, but like I shouldn't love him. You don't love him. You've known him for 2 days.
I think she's like, holy shit, I fucked up. I'm against Brittany. No way I'm going to win. Maybe I need to rethink the guy that I just fucking dumped.
Yeah, right. This is a Nicole and Benaya and Sam situation.
Yes, it is.
And she goes, like, I love him, but I shouldn't love him. And Leo could dump me. And he's real rich. Shit.
You don't want to fuck up that money.
No. And that's the end of the episode, guys. That's the end. Love is Blind, season 7, episode 1, called No More Situationships. And we won't see Nick and Vanessa for 6 more episodes, but they made their mark on this episode. They act real dorky.
You don't think we'll see who?
Nick and Vanessa.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. they really dorked it up another
They always do.
level for
They
this
always
one. They
do.
really, really did.
But
I
at
was like,
least they know how to run a reunion. Those UK people are like, "Oh, and you broke up and it
that
was
was
terrible.
horrible.
We're gonna wrap it up. Let's move on to the next people." No, we'd still like to
Not
know what happened.
not Nick and Vanessa. They was like, so well, when we rolled back the clip, you said this. So now that you're face to face with this person, what you got to say now? So
Yeah.
yeah, they were totally messy, and
I loved it. Loved it.
yeah.
Everybody, again, if this is your first time listening to us here on the Love is Blind recaps on Pink Shade Prime, thanks for joining. What else is on this level for you is the regular episodes that we do. Monday, I do Love After Lockup here with Keisha. Tuesdays, I do a 90 Day Before the 90 with Kimberly. Thursdays, I do a Bravo and pop culture episode. And last week was Kate Casey. This week will be Dylan and Pat from Bad TV. I've got Ryan Bailey coming up. I got Heather McDonald coming up. Always have good guests over there. So if you're new here, thank you. You get your ad-free episodes on this level as well. And I'm always covering interesting things over here. I covered Forbidden Love. I'm always covering like Indian matchmaking. And Keisha's always going to join me for Love is Blind because this is our show.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So
we need to start like our own dating service or something like that.
I think we need to ask for a Love is Blind for people that are already married just to get into the pods and see how well we do. We don't want to have to date anybody or see anybody in person.
I thought the same exact thing. I'm like, I wonder how I would do in the pods, even though I'm married.
Yeah, I don't want to actually follow through with anything. I just want to know how good I would do. Yeah.
Me too. Look at that, twin flames.
Same birthday. If y'all missed it at the beginning, we said it. We have the same birthday. It's coming up. And we will be real extra because that will also be the week of the finale of this show. And it will be our birthday week. And we're going to probably have to come up with a costume as we do.
That's what we do at the end season finale costumes. Start thinking of
your costume.
Yep.
All right, everybody, make sure you follow Keisha over on her podcast, The Libra Lounge with Keisha, and also her Instagram of the same name. And my podcast, of course, is Pink Shade, and you can follow me at Pink Shade Pod on Instagram. And we will see you for episode 2 coming right up. Bye. Woo-hoo.